Alright, in the previous section we have talked about how a corporation has limited liability, which is one of the key advantages which a corporation has. But what exactly is limited liability? First of all, we need to understand what kind of liability we are talking about. We are referring to financial liability here, as in liability in dollars and cents. For example, if a corporation has a capital of about $100, we will say that it has limited financial liability of $100. It's that simple. Now, liability here, especially limited liability, refers to limited financial liability. It does not mean criminal liability. Now, that's extremely important to realize because by using a corporation, it doesn't mean that you can start a company, start a corporation, and use this corporation as a front for all kinds of sleazy criminal activities like money laundering, tax evasion, drug peddling, and whatever that is illegal and that you should not be doing in the first place. Now we are talking here about financial liability. A corporation does not shield you from any form of criminal liability. So if one day you decide to set up a corporation to engage in illegal activities, the corporation will not be able to protect you from the long arms of the law. It's that simple. Now that we have determined what limited liability is, essentially, question is, how much liability does a corporation really have? A corporation's liability is determined by its paid-up capital. Now, this is the capital that is contributed by the corporation's shareholders at the point of incorporation. So, for example, you decide to start up a company and you decide to put in $100 as starting capital. Now, this is what we call paid-up capital, which is capital contributed by shareholders at the point of incorporation. Now, if your paid-up capital is $100, it means that the liability is limited to $100. So, for example, a corporation may engage in business with other people, and other people decide to file a lawsuit against the corporation. Let's say there's a judgment of $1 million against this corporation. If the paid-up capital is $100, the maximum amount which the creditors can recover is essentially $100 because it is the amount which you contributed to the corporation at the point of incorporation, and that is the amount that the corporation has. So the liability is limited to $100, regardless of the fact that there is a judgment of $1 million. Now, that's the wonderful thing about corporations. It protects you against unlimited exposure to lawsuits and unfavorable judgments. Now, in the subsequent sections, we'll be looking at how to structure corporations and how to use this to limit your liability.